Mallia, when did you start this program, Love and Support Mentoring? Like, when did you become a member and affiliate of it?
Okay. I became a member freshman year of high school. So this was around year...
Was it the pandemic?
Yes, actually. I remember that because it was after 8th grade and I didn't get to graduate on stage. So during the summer of me transferring to a virtual high school, my mentor, Mr. S,
Who, me?
Lejean.
You just said my name like my daughter, Lejean. Lejean. That's pretty nice. Okay.
He hit me and my family up, introducing his program. And my dad, of course, him wanting the best for me and my education, he agreed. And from then on there, I've been in this program up to 2023.
Nice. So you've been a part of the year where everything was virtual and now everybody's back into the groove of life, you know, how things used to be. So you've had quite the high school experience so far, huh?
Yes.
Nice. What year are you now? I know that you mentioned it earlier, but I quickly forgot.
Class of 2024.
So that's a junior. You're about to be a senior.
Yes.
Okay.
Upcoming senior.
Walk me through your high school journey thus far. How has it been? Like, tell me from freshman year until now, like, be as detailed as you want to be. Walk me through your high school journey. How has it been?
My high school journey has been very challenging, very tough, not easy, emotional, but I'm here, so it was manageable and I got through it. Of course, when COVID hit, everybody had to do their freshman year over Zoom, and just everything was just virtual. But after, we're done with freshmen, instead of me going back to school like the rest of my peers, I stayed virtual. So my sophomore year, I did a online school called K through 12. That was emotional because, of course, out of all my peers and just people I live around, neighborhood, they're at school, I'm at home. Mm-hmm. And it's just been, that was the emotional part, but I got through it once again. Junior year, my first ever real high school.
Which is this year.
Year. Almost finished. One more week left. At first, it didn't feel real at first because I missed my freshman and sophomore year. So being a junior and my first year of ever real high school, like stepping foot on campus, getting a locker, it just didn't feel like it didn't settle in yet until like December-ish, I adapted. Not going to say it was just super hard, but it wasn't an easy roller coaster either. So I could say it's just been a okay high school overall. I have one more year left, and I just can't wait to see what that brings.
When you were going through the whole distance learning process, which was longer than the average high schooler that's been a part of this program, like how, even though it was challenging for you, how did you feel supported to the point where you could prevail? Because I'm going to toot your horn. Like, you were a great distance learner individual. Like, your grades were nice. Not everybody had that experience. Some people, struggled, and they really found it to be challenging. But, when you were going through that whole distance learning phase, how were you supported by Love and Support Mentoring where you were able to prevail, you were able to get stuff done?
Yes. Well, that I was at home, I feel like I had a lot of advantages. I'm not doing anything, so let's find something to do. I was at school through Zoom, of course. When I just found myself not understanding it, there was resources like, for example, tutors that Love and Support Mentee provided depending on the subject, I did math a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish was the top. It's just a different language, and
Remember
I
that.
just wasn't.
Spanish with John.
Yes. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
You know.
John is my brother-in-law, and he's an amazing
Yes,
Spanish
he
individual.
is.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
it's fine. Yeah, it supported me because I didn't have it's different in between inside the classroom versus online. I can't just go after school to the teacher. Emails, you have to wait, and there isn't just raise your hand in class and, oh yeah, you can come after school. So the fact that I had something kind of like immediate, so...
Yeah, and them teachers took a while to email
Yes.
response. I remember that. I had to jump on them.
Yes, so the fact that I had that supported me a lot, and I ended off pretty great, actually, with my grades.
Thank you for
that.
tooting your own horn. Sometimes you're too humble. You
Yes.
deserve to give some praise to yourself because you really thrived during that era, that time phase. What's the difference between now or then and now? Like from when you started high school and where you're at now. And I say, like, what's the difference? Not necessarily picking on the topic of distance learning compared to you being in school, but like what's different then compared to now, like with your whole high school experience?
Was major difference is socially. Distance learning, I literally went in the class, did the work, and left. I didn't really participate in anything they had. Like, they went through extra Zooms where we played games through Zooms. I just really wasn't engaged. It was just strictly give me an A or, and I'll see you later, see you the next day. Wow.
I remember that.
Wow, right now, I have to really speak up. It's not a problem or anything. It's just, I just have to get back into the really listen to me era and just getting comfortable, back comfortable again with asking questions. And yeah, it's not just leave right now. I had to really, get back into the social life with teachers and people.
Do you feel like you are a strong advocate for yourself?
Yes. Yes. I
Tell me more. Why do you feel like you are a strong advocate for Mallia?
First, I don't hesitate for asking help. So I'm very when it comes to something I don't know, I'm going to ask for help because I know through life, I don't just know it all. So I'm I understand that completely. And yeah, I just feel like when something's wrong or just in general, anything, you don't have to be for asking help. It's just just something that's not necessarily not going my way, just in general that I know it could be improvements on in myself or in others or in the classroom setting or just outside. I ask for help quickly, yes.
Throughout your high school experience, how have you grown? How have you matured in a way?
How did I mature?
Because I'm always talking to each and every one of you about in a way, what's not growing is dying. How are you showing growth? Because I don't measure success by A's and B's and stuff like that. How are you making yourself better? How are you showing growth? That's how I measure progress, growth. How have you shown growth?
How I show growth is responding differently to situations.
Tell me more about that.
Once again, the social life, it's not perfect. So me, of course, a quick temper here and there, but over time, that's not the best way, and I've learned that.
And we're all a work in progress,
yes,
so please don't feel bad about that. We are all a work in progress.
Of course, I get that, but, as I get older, it could be bigger consequences. So I did change my responses. It's not perfect. of course, still more improvement, but it came a long way. So,
I like that.
yes.
I like that. I want to applaud that. Yes, please. Thank you. What hiccups have you experienced while being in high school? Like challenges that have come Mallia's way?
One thing my dad always told me is always going to be one teacher. Not like just a terrible teacher, just you have to really, it's always going to be a teacher that's just probably not going to be as nice or like you have that bond. Instead of trying to go against that, win at their game,
Ooh,
So
I like that.
so this year it's just been like it's been challenging with teachers, not in a unfairly way, just I have to work just a tad bit harder than others in the classroom. Had to lock in a little more than others in the classroom. And I had to understand, like, it's just life and it's unfair. So instead of complaining, let's just get the A and let's just get the diploma that I should be receiving in 2024.
Okay.
And yes, that's really it. That was the challenge.
I have to tag along what you said, and echo something that you mentioned. When I asked you about growth, this is something that I recognize within you, how you are trying your best not to live in the land of comfort, where you are growing in that aspect of, trying to overcome obstacles in the classroom with your teachers. Because I know in the past, Mallia may have said some nasty things to that teacher, or would have fought fire with fire. Parents would have been at the school. We've had history of that. But yeah, I look at that as another layer of growth, which is amazing to see where you used to be and where you are right now and how you have matured in that way on how to communicate and deal rationally with situations that come your way that have a more positive outcome. So while you talk about those things that you have experienced, I think along those challenges that you've endured, you've also shown growth through those challenges.
Thank you.
So again, round of applause. How has love and support mentoring helped you along the way? I know I kind of asked this earlier, but I want you to tell me in detail, what has love and support mentoring done for you throughout your high school experience?
Of course, the providing resources, but also just being something to just sit back and talk about. I feel like loving support mentee isn't just you need help at work, let's get it for you. It's more like emotional as well, not just what you have to do on paper. Yeah, I feel like instead of a work bond, is also you're a friend to me, of course. So I feel like that helped me navigate my emotions or just talk about stuff that I didn't realize and realizing it and reflecting, of course. And yeah, I feel like it supported me in that aspect as well.
Nice. That it makes me think about our check-ins, whether it be through Zoom,
right,
or even face to face. The whole purpose of this program, of course, to have options as when you become a senior, which you are becoming, and you start applying to colleges. And if you don't go to college, we're going to push you towards your best passion that you see yourself fulfilling.
Exactly.
Because I can honestly say that college is not for everybody, but there should be a journey after high school that you are happy about embarking on.
Exactly.
But our check-ins, I try to create not only a well-rounded student, but a well-rounded individual. And I'm happy that you have had those experiences where we, positively talk about things that, you become vulnerable about, and you're openly sharing. And so walk me through a session that you've had or a session that we've had that, you can remember that was whether it's negative or positive, but I don't even think we've had any negative sessions, but I have with others. Just throw that out there. But walk me through, like, what do our sessions look like between you and I?
First, I would, introduce the topic, talk about the situation, become vulnerable, say how I feel, give like honest of both sides of the story. And you respond with not just you understand me, but you understand them as well. And you can see why they might have, or you just looking into the situation from an outside perspective and not just on my side, but their side, which is helpful because, I rather like not just always rowdy, like, oh, I'm always right.
Yeah.
I want to hear like, what is there like, sometimes I can also be right, but I know.
Because you're human.
Yes. But like seeing the other like outside point of view really helps because, you're not always right or perfect.
Yeah,
So.
I like to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like I have to, because that creates empathy and also compassion and also
awareness of yourself.
Understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, and awareness. Understanding about the situations that you go through, because we as humans, we are not always right. Even though we think we are, once we take a step back and understand where people are coming from, then we could take accountability and also have them take accountability and understand how we got into the situation that we're in. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that you realize that.
Thank you.
Look at you, Mallia. What tip would you give a freshman who's joining the program?
Communication.
Communicate. Why would you say communication?
This program is not just a one-way street.
Ooh,
Not
powerful.
Yes. It's definitely not. If you want help, if you need it, or just like you have to speak up. No one reads minds. No one is. Our mentor is also a human. He still has boundaries and respect, and just being mutual, and it can go a long way just by simply communicating.
You mentioned it's not a one-way street, where it has to be, meaning that it has to be a two-way street, meaning that it comes from both sides, or like
Yes,
two parties.
for sure.
Why do you think that's important in like a relationship? Whether it be our relationship or mentor to mentee, or maybe any other like, domestic relationship,
Of course.
platonic relationship. Why do you think that's important in any relationship?
Of course. Communication is definitely very important in general, because, that's a good question.
Like when
Sounds
you think-
simple,
it sounds simple, and people think it's simple, but it's way
Yes.
more complex, because
I
sometimes you have to
agree.
take a deep dive in. But like when you think of communication, like without it, like it leads you into the
Yes,
unknown, or
exactly.
but like with it, like why do you think that's important to communicate?
That's important because first, I feel like that makes the bond stronger. Simply just telling someone I can't or I can goes a long way. You're aware of what to avoid or what to like expect and everything. So just simply like speaking up or meeting each other requirements. Sometimes we have to be held to like, what is it, like goals at the end of like every
Yeah.
check-in. There's always a goal
Yeah, totally. Held to certain
on both
standards.
sides of the and meeting it, and if you can't, saying something just it brings it a long way, because if you can't, we can help that, like why, what's wrong, and it just builds respect on both ends.
And a nice bond. I like how you
Yes.
tapped into that. I feel like we've created a nice bond. Like
Yeah.
you've always been a cool cat, cool kid on the block. But your communication and your ability to communicate, which is like superb, I must give you that. Like organically, and it's
Yes.
like it just flows so natural with you. Like I've told you this since you were in like 5th grade. I won't say it until they push you away, until never, never land, whatever. But like you are an individual who gets it. you can connect the dots and you understand, like you're wise
Exactly.
beyond your years. So kudos to you for that. Now, I heard the tip that you gave a freshman. What tip would you give a junior, a kid who's right behind you? Like, what tip would you give them for their junior year? And I love how you echo the question when I ask it. So you've been doing that all night. So keep it up.
Of course. A tip I would give a upcoming junior.
On their junior year that they're about to embark on.
Yes. Consistency for sure. Simply just being consistent on your work, because juniors are important to colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's just super important. Like, I can't even say more because it's just super important. Yeah. Unless college isn't your option, but if it is, consistency is like, because if you slip, it's just not saying you can't make mistakes, but a mistake can cost you. Yeah.
And it being that like I said, we're all a work in progress. It happens. Exactly. It happens to the best of us. And I must say that throughout my high school experience, like when I was in high school and actually witnessing kids go through their junior year, whether it be my relatives, like nieces and nephews, or even some of the kids who are part of this program, junior year is the most challenging. When I look at the transcripts, when I look at the grades, exactly, they can thrive their freshman, sophomore year, but for some odd reason, that third year where people find like the let up comfort and they're chilling, or they just get stuck in their ways, or they may change, like, because as teenagers, you're always changing. It could be a different social scene, different crowd, different school, so be it. But junior year is always extremely challenging. And like, even though you may fall short of a goal, do you think it's like the death of a junior? Do you feel like they can still bounce back? Like, do you think they can recover from their junior year, like while they're experiencing their junior year?
Of course.
Why do you think that?
It's not impossible or anything. I just feel as though, not even feel, it's just in junior years, I feel like we all know junior years is important, so we like thrive in the beginning and even try to thrive at the end, but it's like, well, in my experience, it was always just something I couldn't control. Like, of course, I'm doing the things I can control by going to class, talking to the teachers, this and that, but it's always like something like a life or something situation that just, I couldn't make it to this class, or I couldn't do that, and I missed the turn in late work day, and it's just keep like doing things you can't control, and it'll work out for sure. Just don't lollygag or anything. I like that. That's really it.
Okay. So is it safe to say that you're an individual who doesn't stress about the things that they cannot control?
Yeah, to an extent. I would keep, like, recently actually, like yesterday or like the day before.
Very recent. Okay.
I'm asking about my grade, and I'm asking, like, is there anything I can do? But until she like straight up said no, it was just nothing to talk about. I was just, I can't control it. She said the due date was done. She's done. Can't force her. So I just So now I'm trying to like do good on a final, something I can control, and just go out with a bang as much as I can.
I like that. So that's an optimistic lens. Yes, I applaud that. Something you learned at an early age in your middle school days. Go ahead. All right, switching the whole combo. Tell me somebody who you personally look up to. It could be anybody in this world. We may know them, we may not. Who do you look up to, Mallia Keller?
That is a hard question for me. Okay. Who do I look up to? Oh, myself. I'm not gonna say that right now.
You know, that's confidence. Tell me, okay, why do you look up to yourself? I would love to hear the answer behind that. Because it's like you're betting on yourself, even when the odds may be against you. So tell me more.
God comes first.
Okay.
Not saying myself. Definitely him. I'm trying to get closer with him. Do things through him. But I say myself because it also takes me and my determination and me speaking up or me doing this, because once again, yes, there's resources, but if I'm not asking for them, no one would know I need it.
Yeah, or even following through on them.
Yes. So me like being aware of what's going on and who I am and what I need to do in certain situations, I applaud myself for that, because just simply speaking up and taking what I need brings me a long way. So
I like that. I like that answer. That was a very unique and different answer. And I'm going to roll with it because you own that. Who's someone you would like to model your life after?
My little sister.
Tell me more.
My little sister, because I'm the closest girl to her, like of her age. Of course, my mother, but you know, getting up there. So I say my little sister because I say her because when she was born, it was a lot of, you gotta be a big sister and a lot of, you gotta really do good in school. You gotta really, at first I'm like, you know what? She got parents for that. She got.
That's not my responsibility.
That's not me.
Find somebody else to do it.
But when she was in the house and we're growing up, I noticed she wouldn't like take after traits of my parents. Like, the firstborn, which was my brother, all he had was my parents in their face. So he kind of got the, the dad, the mom. Then when I was born, the second, I'm taking traits from him, my mom, and my dad. So the more kids, it's like they're not really looking at they're still, they know who mom and dad is, she knows.
But they learn certain behaviors too.
Yes. She picks up on certain things around the house, so I had to really change. Not saying I was just like in the house. Wow. No, I'm just saying like I had to change some attitude ways, stop huffing and pouting when to do something or
because you have somebody like watching
exactly.
you more than you expect.
And a 3-year-old around the house with a little tiny attitude. That's
no
not
fun.
That's not cute. That's not it's not a good look. So she's my role model. Of course, when she get older, school, I'll be on her about that a little more. But right now, she's in kinder.
Yeah, she's having fun.
Yeah, she's having fun.
She's eating her boogers and stealing crackers from her friends. It's fun.
I'm not gonna be strict on her about her 1, 2, 3. That comes natural. That comes natural. That's just a kid thing.
Yeah.
She knows her. She's not behind or anything. She knows her shapes, colors. So I'm letting it flow, of course. So, but that's my role model after all.
That's beautiful. Whew, it's safe to say, because, you literally only have, 6 more days of just natural school, if not less or more, give or take. You are a senior. What's the plan for this upcoming senior year? What does that look like for you?
Sometimes I wish you can get a preview of the next life, but you don't. But right now, my upcoming senior, people will ask me, what's your dream college? I cannot answer that.
The power of yet.
If they said, what's your dream college with my favorite food in front of me, I don't know. I just can't. So of course I'm gonna apply to colleges. It's just I don't have the top 2, 3 not recently, but growing up, I never heard of HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's like a lot in the Black community, though. Like I've been talking, no one heard of that until freshman, sophomore year. And to be honest, how they heard of it was social media. No parents really said, "Oh, HBCU." I promise. So
no, you're not wrong. I don't mean to cut you off. Like,
of course,
when I was going through the high school experience, like, I knew people who were applying to Morehouse and like these Southern schools, but it was not there wasn't much awareness on it. And I'm so glad that there is now awareness where our, Black and brown kids have a place that they can call home where people look, where the predominant, demographic is looking like them. And so like that's dope that you are aware of it now, and that seems to be an option that you're like leaning into, right? Okay.
I'm definitely considering it. Don't know which ones yet. Still have to do major research just to know. And yeah, that's what I'm just right now. After, I'm finishing these last couple of days. Summer is just like focusing on my like personal statements and stuff. And when it's like, the start of like senior year, like kind of a couple months in, counselors like are like, they always talk about like, let's start with colleges and, because the due dates be like December, November, January maybe.
Yeah.
But that's really my main focus. And then continuing to do good my senior year because colleges can still take those acceptances away.
Awareness.
If you're like
slacking.
Yes.
Ain't on your job.
Yes, they can take it away if you think you got this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So never live in the land of comfort.
Of course.
Nice. Okay. What colleges have you been accepted to, or have you been experiencing any like I don't know, like open houses for like, understanding colleges? Or I should even say this. Wait a minute. You just got back from a college tour. Wait, walk me through that. Like, I want to know more about how what that whole experience was like, because you got to experience some HBCUs. And it was like, this was your first time on a plane too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that whole experience. So you took a plane for the first time. You went on a college tour, some HBCUs over on the East Coast. Walk me through it.
Yes. First, the plane, don't recommend. As a matter of fact, I wasn't tripping because when we got off the plane, a couple of people who just take planes regularly was like, yeah, it definitely was a lot of turbulence. And like, all of a sudden, I can understand this is a worst experience because it's your first time with the worst turbulence ever. So
it wasn't a smooth ride.
It wasn't at all.
Oh, no.
No, it was not. It was how I had it in my head. It's how I expected it to be. And everybody kept saying it was fine, and it wasn't. But we landed. You can see I'm here. We landed. It was actually a great experience in the East Coast.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Morgan State.
Okay.
I believe it's pronounced Bowie or Bowie. I believe Bowie.
Bowie.
It's like state. It's HBCU.
HBCU, right?
Yes.
Bowie State.
Coppin State.
Okay.
Howard University.
HU.
It was very, very huge.
Okay.
It was like it was just a lot.
Now, out of those HBCUs that you got a chance to experience firsthand and being present, which one did you like the most personally? Because everybody's opinion is different.
It is different. What did I like the most? It was a fair. Everything was great. It was a fair, but I would honestly say Morgan.
Morgan State, okay. Why are you leaning towards why were you leaning towards liking that more out of that whole experience?
Morgan, I wasn't even trying to find a college. I was just trying to get experience. Once again, this is my first time stepping into HBCU colleges. I just wanted to even with this guy. So I really wasn't in the mindset of, oh, which one's better, what I want to go to. But Morgan just was the attraction because they had a nice, togetherness. When people say when they look for colleges, don't always look at like what's the top, like you hear about number one. Like for example, you always hear Howard, how like don't always look for the top, like because this is like where you're finna live. So look at what your aura is comfortable with. And not saying Howard it was just an example.
Yeah, totally. No, I understand where you come from.
It was just more like when I went to like Morgan, it was like I could see myself here.
Yeah.
Of course, they had the majors I wanted, but it was like, do I see myself waking up here, eating here?
That's real.
Yeah, like it was just more than just school because this is like I'm moving from my home. Like I'm not going home after school. I take my classes. I'm going back to a dorm or whatever. It's not like a 2-minute drive from my house. So that would kind of.
Do you see yourself possibly applying to any of those schools that you visited?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, I was going to do Howard, Morgan, and Coppin. Out of all those, it was more colleges. It was 7. I forgot all 7, but those 3, I'll definitely apply to.
Apply away, because that's why you're part of this program. That's why Love and Support Mentoring is here, so we can take away those fees and all that stuff.
Exactly.
For the option that you need to have. You don't need to stress about nothing. That aids some type of support and assistance. So that's why you're here. Apply away. That's dope. Okay. So the experience was pretty good though. Like, okay. Anything else you want to share about that whole experience? Or is that
that was pretty much it. Other than the airplane. That's pretty it.
What's something that you have enjoyed that Love and Support Mentoring has done for you?
What have I enjoyed? That's a good question. I enjoyed it all, but to be specific, I enjoyed the outings actually. To me, it's not just more of like, let's just like have fun, but it's like you're taking a break out of the work environment. It's just like a field trip in school. Like we're out of the school, let's learn out of school or do something out of school.
Let's be free and just live.
Yeah. That's what I...
Oh, I feel bad. I feel like, we should have had more.
Yes.
No, God, you're breaking my heart. You just called me a bad mentor.
No.
You did. I heard it. But it's okay.
Your senior year,
step it up. Step it up. I heard you subliminally. I did.
That's mostly it, honestly. It's just I didn't look at it as like, it's just... But that's when bonds, you talking to other people in the program, you hear them, meeting others, it's just, that's what I enjoyed, honestly.
Okay. Nice. All right, my last question for you. What's something that you haven't done that you want to do in life?
Well, I'm still young, so
you said what?
Still young. Not saying I can just do whatever or anything. But, what I haven't done, what to do in life. That is a good question. Because I don't really have any, like, strong desires of something or...
Well, look at your future. Try to help that. Looking at it through that lens, I think it'll help you answer your question.
I agree. I want to major in psychology and then transfer over to the detective field and then work my way up. Of course, gotta be police officer first. So, what do I want to do in that field? That's a good question. Just give me a minute. No, psychology because, growing up in the Black community, mental health just wasn't taken as seriously. So something that I haven't done that I want to do is just help navigate our Black community, young ones, and then the detective field because, we getting thrown in jail sometimes. Not saying we all perfect. Not saying we don't do nothing.
So create social justice.
Yes. Not saying we're just super innocent.
Social justice.
Exactly. Just being the voice of our people. Just can bring us a long way. Not saying I can help everybody. It's only so much I can do as one, but helping an innocent man. Just one innocent man free. So, yeah, I could see myself doing that I haven't done yet. Yeah.
Making a difference in this world.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, my last and final question is, when I normally get off the phone or like a Zoom call, what do I tell the mentees or you in this situation? I want to see if you remember because some kids don't remember and it breaks my heart because I say this over and over.
I know. I know it. You are loved. You are valued. You're supported.
I said remember.
I said right.
You do.
I was gonna mix it up probably, but I was
right,
remembering the
218. All right, that was amazing. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much, Mallia. You're amazing.